Welcome to another episode of Peers Over Beers, your favorite digital and social evangelist podcast, with your industry veteran hosts, Michael Sandoval and Chris Tetzel. This podcast starts now. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Peers Over Beers. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Sandoval.
And I'm the one other host, Chris Detzel. I was trying to come up with something.
I know, something clever, like one other host, yeah. Nice to meet you, one other host.
That's all I can come up with every time.
Well, at least I've stopped the giggle right after I say I'm one of your hosts, Michael Sandoval. No, and then you'll say something and then I'll start giggling, which is kind of funny.
Well, the giggle, I think, is the Michael Sandoval way. So I don't think you should ever stop.
No, I always giggle. It's pretty funny. Yeah, it is what it is. So it's been a while since we've had a chance to chit chat with each other. You go to Boston. You're in marathons, or you're cheering on your wife in Boston marathons, and that sounds incredibly healthy. Whereas I was just drinking and eating on a boat. So,
ooh, that sounds good.
I consider them both marathons.
A drinking marathon.
Yeah, I had to prep just as well. I had to cleanse all month. I had to eat clean.
Eat clean to not eat clean and drink clean.
Because I was going to abuse my body, just as I'm sure Leah did too.
She did, yeah.
How'd she do, by the way?
How'd you do?
Did you do like one of the runs?
No. This year there's only one run. So I just cheered on, and she ran the marathon. She did her second best at the Boston Marathon. So she's done 8 of them. So
second best
at Boston, yeah. So I think she got 3 hours and 31 minutes or something like that. So it was good.
Man,
yeah,
pretty good. About as long as Dune, the movie.
Yeah, as long as it takes you to watch that movie.
As long as it takes me to watch one Lord of the Rings, she ran a marathon.
Exactly. So it's not too bad. You should try it.
Well, I give her a lot of congratulations, extreme kudos. Please give her my best and congrats. I think it's an incredible achievement.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I wonder if I envy. I'm just looked with awe.
Yeah, I don't think you envy because you're never going to do it, right?
I wouldn't do it. But I am in awe. Definitely in awe.
I'm too, man. She's focused, and when she gets focused, she accomplishes lots of goals, and I think that's what you have to do, is whether it's in personal life, business, whatever, right?
Yeah. A total aside, because this is just how I go down rabbit holes, but it's one of the things between you two, like, because I know you're a focused individual too.
Yeah,
which gets us into what this next step we're going to talk about here a bit, but and she seems to be focused. Does that kind of does that kind of feedback loop of pushing you more and she pushes you more, that kind of back and forth, like you feed off each other in some way?
I feel like I feed off her a lot. I'm not sure that she feeds off me, if that makes sense, because she's with or without me, she's pretty focused.
Okay.
but I think I might help some, and I think she really likes that we're alike in that kind of way. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
I do feel like, not to get too personal, but she's definitely made me a better person, in a lot of ways, and just helped me to focus a little bit more on certain things like finances or my running or even work. I've become a better, let's just say, focused individual, especially for work, if you think about it. And I've gone a lot further having her here just because of her support and things. So I don't know. It's probably too much, but yeah, I think we do. Hopefully she thinks the same way.
Yeah.
Or she wouldn't be with me, I assume.
Yeah. You would have found that out already by now.
Yeah. We've been together for a long time now, so.
So in our pre-show, I think we had a discussion about this a few episodes ago, but we were kind of thinking about how do you grow a community over time? And how do you kind of begin turning on resources, right? So as you grow, what is that critical point where you get going, right? So I thought we'd just do some whiteboarding. I've got my spreadsheet open, and I'm just going to write some stuff down, and we can post this on the notes.
Ooh, I like that even better.
It's a good way to kind of get going. And so I thought we would do the exercise. So So here's, let me state the problem statement, and then we can go down to solutions. The problem statement is, um, today I have the beginning of a community. Tomorrow I want it to look like this. However, from getting from A to B, there's going to be growth. How do I plan for that growth? That's on the cost side. And I think we had another discussion with us, another episode is, as I grow, what is the offset of that cost in a either in revenue potential, share of revenue, meaning I grew some revenue somewhere else, or cost reduction of something. Usually it's on the
Support side.
support side. Exactly correct, right? So I thought we'd do the cost side of the ledger, which is the resource planning. And maybe we can
Yeah,
just brainstorm. Go ahead.
yeah, and I can kind of give you a real life scenario.
Yeah.
So, and this way you can kind of put some cool stuff together like you do. Um, you know, so I work at a company called Reltio, and Reltio was just funded, from an investment standpoint, $120 million. It went live yesterday, or the announcement went out. Super exciting stuff, and um, you know, I believe that our CEO truly believes in community and the investments. I think that even will be more in community, meaning resources and those kinds of things. And the challenge, and I've mentioned this before, but now specifically, and I need to do something now, right? Um, is how do I go about asking for those resources, right? So my boss wants me to kind of put something together that says, hey, look, you know, why do you need resources? What are they going to do? And then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So if I wanted an engagement community manager, if I wanted a data analyst to put all this data on there, and if I wanted a content, strategist for community, I need to fight for it, and I need to put
Mm.
some stuff together. And I was complaining to Michael just now. I was like, isn't there some template we can put together or something that you can just give me,
Let's
to
just plug in some numbers and Bob's your
plug in
uncle.
some numbers, or, you know, there's this, that says these are the things that they'll do, kind of like a, job description ish, but not, but at a higher level. And then, this is what they're going to accomplish, and this is what the organization's going to get out of it. Maybe there's some kind of template, but I've not seen one, and so I've got to try to make some shit up, and it stresses me out like crazy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I don't
Uh,
like to be stressed.
no, hell, who does? Uh, so I thought we just kind of first, maybe what we do first is do the brainstorm of the buckets, and then we can kind of dig in and see how far that gets us, and then maybe the next episode we do like some numbers. But let's just try it this way. So you can't see what I have, but I don't know if there's a way to share on this thing. But
There's not.
um, this is kind of funny. This is how you know this is like real life. But so I'm going to share with you, Chris, and those who are listening will be able to see it, I think, on the show notes. But I'm going to send you a quick text of what I'm building, so you
Yep.
give context of what I'm doing. And wait, was this Chris Detzel? There we go. Boom, boom. So what I thought we would do is talk about big buckets. And big buckets are around, first, what does our aspiration look like? The next is going to be around, what are the resources that we need to get to the end state?
Yep.
What does the software look like for that? And then we can brainstorm to see if there's any other buckets that will be needed. Let me know if you get the text that I sent you.
I think I just now got it. Okay.
So to give you a description for those listening in, I think what I gave Chris was just a spreadsheet. Along the x-axis, I have year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5.
Yep.
And then I'm building out the big buckets. My first is aspiration, the second is on resources, and the third is on software. So I thought we'd start a little bit on aspiration. And so if we think about what we want to be in year 5, what does that look like? I thought we'd put down some numbers, right? We don't have to say the numbers, just the buckets of numbers. So the first one I put down was total membership. That's one. Another area could be page views, because that's another way people evaluate certain things. Do we
You
want to
could you
put?
could say what's that Google Analytic number? The users, is that it?
Oh,
Yeah,
unique users.
new
Oh, so instead
users.
of page views, unique
There's
users.
users and new users. I would say users because it's
Yeah, it's
better.
unique users. Yep, we'll put that unique users. I'll just put in page views. That's a number everybody kind of gravitates towards. Um, I don't know if this plays at all, but maybe I'm just going to write down some stuff. SEO rank, maybe
Yep.
something we can talk about. But if we
Or at
think
least you
about
could just put organic SEO, from the beginning, and then you can start
organic,
thinking about ranking.
yeah, organic SEO,
Maybe get to a certain
maybe
percentage.
mhm. Maybe there is a certain number you want to get to for the number of people you move from the community to the site. I'm just throwing out
Yeah,
some numbers.
registrations.
We'll call it okay registrations. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Another area I'm thinking about is new customer growth. As a result, I'm trying to think something business specific, like I want that. So what I'm thinking is, in year 5, I want the community to be looking like this. I want a community that is helping each other, large and vibrant, has some weight in our space, an asset to the company. We have to describe what asset means, and so asset. I think I'm putting things like the value to the company, which
Yep.
is I'm reducing a cost. I am bringing in new customers. I have a
Bringing in
larger share of
leads.
voice, right?
I think one is bringing in leads to, like you kind of
Okay, lead
mentioned.
generation. Okay, very good.
Two is, um, when and how do we prove this? But year 5, we can figure it out. Is when those current customers engage, do they buy more? Do we do upselling, cross
Ah, good
selling?
one. Yep, yep.
So
So we'll do a um, we'll do engaged v non-engaged revenue. So this idea that if you're engaged in the community, you are you bring in this much revenue. If you're not engaged, you bring this much revenue, and the whole idea is that you're clearly bringing in more revenue as an engaged customer.
the other piece is advocacy. So are
Okay,
we getting our customers to advocate for our brand, right? Are they
excellent.
giving us case studies? Are they
Yep,
are they going to events and talking about us? Are they giving us quotes or anything like that? So
excellent. I like that. That could be another one. Could be, I don't know if this is something I'm just brainstorming. So if it's like
yeah,
at mentions of the company,
yeah,
um,
maybe they're doing some stuff on LinkedIn and they mention us, or
yep,
Facebook, whatever social sites.
mentions, yeah. And I'm trying to see if there's some sort of brand awareness metric.
I mean,
Um,
wouldn't that be like organic SEO, right? Like people
well,
are
no.
searching.
Sometimes a brand will do a brand study and say,
Hmm.
in a, if you ask some of your core customers and say, can you name the top 5 uh, EDM companies without help? And sometimes a company will come up number 1, number 2, number 3. That rank means something
Oh,
because
got
that's
it.
the
Yep.
awareness, right?
Brand awareness. How
Mm-hmm.
does community affect that, do you think?
Oh, because in my previous life, we've seen uh, where it ranked was name one thing that your company excels at doing, and one of them was support, and it was because of the community, and it was actually came out in the brand study. So
Hmm.
if they didn't have it, the valuation of that brand goes down.
That's pretty
That's how
cool.
it was assessed, and I wish I could share those data, but that's definitely a purchased research. That
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was great research. I just did one of those hallelujah things. Um,
It helped.
okay, so that's a good way to
Yeah, I
go.
think that's a
Let's
lot.
talk about let's talk about people, right?
Yeah.
And let's name titles, not necessarily numbers, just titles.
So let's say
Um,
I'm a director of online community and I'm looking to push engagement. So I look at an engagement community manager that looks at, some of those automated emails that are going out. Are they Are they doing their, are they working? Are people clicking on stuff? Is there rewards and recognition,
Okay.
badges? That's what that
Okay.
person would do, right?
I think there's a lot there. So let me just write
Yeah,
down
there's a
some
lot there.
titles. So I put down community manager. I put down I'll put down marketing manager. I put down a content
Yeah.
manager. Those three, I think you need moderators. I think maybe a paid subject matter expert. Maybe this is what they do, or maybe we pay subject matter experts. So I'm just going to put in
Oh, to come in
technical
and
SME.
answer and ask questions.
Technical SME. What else? You mentioned a data analyst.
Yeah.
Analyst.
Put a content person.
I put a content manager.
Yeah.
I'm using managers a lot, even though I could do.
Strategist, manager, whatever. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
we'll put content contributor, content.
I have a webinar program now. These things are huge, like a program manager for webinars, right?
Yep,
And so for the community.
yep. I think you need an email marketing person. I think if you really get going, you need something who is a SEO guru.
Well, I mean, a lot of times the SEO is in marketing, and you can just kind of piggyback on what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what we did at Excel.
Totally. I think what I'm working is these are the roles of people. Now I need to assess how much of that percentage of individual do I need,
Yeah.
and is it worth putting that person as a full time? Is there enough effort there?
Yeah.
Uh, SEO manager. What other roles do we leverage with? I think some other areas would be, and this could be not a resource, but again, it could be a cost. Let's put this down the cost section.
Content, getting blogs and videos,
Yeah, very good. So we'll do graphic. We'll do, okay. First, let me review the resources and see if there's any other roles we need to add. So I have community manager, could be plural, a marketing manager, content contributor, content creator, I think is probably the best way to say. Let me write that down. Creator, moderator, plural, some technical SME, a data analyst, email marketing, SEO manager. What other things do you think we need to have? It's a pretty good organization right there. Oh, project manager. How could I forget?
And then I don't know if you kind of covered this, but somebody you said technical. I don't know if it's like a developer type person, depending on the community itself.
Yeah, let's put that down. I was going to get into software. I feel that's where it's going to come into, but I'll put the word developer.
I don't know if it's a developer, but it's more of a person that can connect business systems from community to other business systems, in the company.
We'll call him this person technical architect.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So let's think about software and how long we've been doing. Okay, good. We'll keep going. Let's talk about software itself. I know there is license, right?
Yep.
Community software license. Then there is server costs. Then we'll have that's why I put development. I always kind of put that in separate.
Yeah, I mean that could be outsourced, but
how about we do this third party development? That's something I know that's
it's easier to get.
Yep.
And do you need to pay $150,000 for a developer full time always? Not
right.
all. I
You're
mean,
exactly correct.
Maybe,
very good.
But
what else is in the cost outside of
talk about content,
salaries, and travel? I'm trying to think of the other costs. I'm trying to think of the other stuff that I would do. Server.
I mean, I'm probably depends on the company.
Probably some office costs and stuff like that, but that's kind of below the line. All right, 3 buckets, right? So let's think about it in terms of what we have today, right? So Um, in fact, let's go back to resources because I think that's one of the crux of your kind of conversations. Um, that's a lot of people, and then we're going to have to figure out how to. Some of these roles are going to be maybe in the department versus shared, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, and then if they're in the department after a certain growth, you're going to need some management of that, right?
Yep.
So let's go back to community manager, right? Let's just say we had to hire 3 community managers. If that is true, then we'll need a director of community, right?
Yep.
So let's put that in here. Director of community. And that person can manage your community managers and your moderators. How's that?
Yep.
And then you'll probably need a that marketing manager can manage your email person and your content creator.
Yeah,
If that
that
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
And then we may do some shared services on SEO and maybe data analyst.
Yep. Shared services. I like
Yeah.
that.
So
It's
this is
pretty
how we
much
have
what we did at
marketing.
Rexel.
Yep. And then the project manager would report into the director of community.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this all out. Like, so in some way we've now created a little org chart, right, of what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just writing these down, so I'm going to send this to you, Chris. Um, oops. So let's okay. So that's and I don't know if I'm kind of nebulous, but so it's a shame you can't see what I'm showing you.
Or saying to me, you're not really showing me.
I'm saying to you, right, versus showing. Um, but let's kind of get into okay. So okay, now that I have those, we need to think about over time. When do you need these things, right? So that's what I was
Hmm.
thinking about total membership. So today we have one director of community, right?
Yep.
You have shared services with a technical SME,
Um,
like somebody who's
so
answering your questions, or you kind of like send it to the universe internally.
I go to the universe internally. I've got people I go to, but there's nobody
Mhm.
there that does that. That's right.
But I think in these roles, this you are playing part marketing manager,
Everything.
part community manager, part
Content
content
specialist.
creator, maybe more like content organizer,
Yeah,
and SEO manager.
that's right.
I think it's important for folks to understand that that is what you do today.
That's what I do today.
Yeah, and so and that comes
And
at
a
a
program manager for webinars too.
okay. Let's put down webinars. Webinar manager. Now that's okay when you have, say, a total membership. I don't know what your total membership is. You
Yep.
can talk about it if you want to. Let's just put 2,000 just for kicks and giggles.
Yep.
Okay. And I think we had talked about that you feel like you're right now maxing out your time because you want to do other things, but you don't have the time to devote to them, right?
That's right. Or
So
or I'm
let's
doing
just,
these other things and I can't find the time to devote to the community completely.
if you were to add one extra person to your organization, what would that be?
Yeah. Probably more that marketing community manager or engagement community manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because today is how do you get those customers and partners to answer each other's questions? So building that gamification, rewards recognition, badging, digital process, right? Um, that piece, and then the email piece. So that person would focus solely on it's definitely acquisition, but also the engagement piece. That makes sense.
It does. And I know we only have a few more minutes, but let me just send this to you so you have an idea of what I'm doing. Share as oh, Microsoft, why do you have to be like this?
We should just put it in a Google Sheets and
Oh, I should have done that.
Copy and
Okay.
paste, and just do that later. But I always say later, and you always forget.
Later. No. That's why I want to do it right now. So hold on. I do save
Just email it to
as.
me. I'll put it in Google Sheets.
Yeah.
Reltio one.
Community. So I don't want to do dead air, so I'm like doing this thing. So look at that. Okay. So I know this is all live. Everybody's kind of, what the hell is he doing? Hold on. Chris Detzel, Reltio. I'm just gonna send to you this thing called community. Desktop. Da, ba, da, da, da. All right. So if you see this now in your inbox, hopefully you see it
Okay.
quickly. All right. And, and then we could probably stop here so that we can post this to Google Sheets so you can see what I'm doing. Let me know when you get it and I'll explain it to you.
It's coming. Not yet. Oh, there it is. Okay.
All right. So there's just notes. So it is what it is. But so right next to year one, I didn't put a title, but I put it now as the words today. I
Yep.
put under total membership, I said, I don't know what it is. We'll just put 2,000. You'll have to tell me what the number is later.
Yep.
Under resources, director community, I put one, right?
Yep.
And I should remove the one next to community manager. But in a sense, this is what your resources look like today. So you're able to do all these things with just one person with that much today. And you're
Yep.
capped. You cannot add.
That's right.
So in the next line under year one, I say, I don't know, let's grow. Maybe we'll do the numbers later, but I said the next growth, since you were able to do that with 2,000, let's make it 4. I put 5,000. We'll do 4,000. To get to that level, I need to have myself, so I have you as 1. And then I put community manager as 1. And then marketing manager, probably half of someone's time. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so I'm kind of walking down through here the rest and saying, content creator, do we need to get somebody's time with that?
I mean, I remember one time you said if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And you
That's
said
what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
a content machine.
It's
That's
a
all I
content
would
machine.
do.
Yeah. So let's do that as a half. Probably you're going to need a moderator now. So we'll do a half here. And that's probably it. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of going next step. So now I want to double that to 8,000 year 2. To double that, I may need 2 community managers, same one of me. Marketing managers now is a 1. Content creator is now a 1. Moderator is now a 1. And this is just a brainstorm. I can kind of walk this through, but what I'm putting in is what I feel is probably right. Then I kind of look back at it and go, okay, is this feasible? The next part of this exercise is to put in what the going rate is for these individuals, knowing that you can't get half a community manager. So part of that is going to now be a cost, right? So for example, for year 1, you have listed here marketing manager as a half. And we'll cover this next, Chris, so not to worry about it. But I can't get half a person. So clearly that's going to be either a consulting service I'm going to have to contract out with either our current environment or with somebody.
Yeah.
At a cost, right? What that looks like. And we'll have to guess on the costs, right? I remember in their old days we'd work with Aquint. And
I think we have some ideas. But I think we have some ideas, but yeah.
Yeah. And we could just put like $100 an hour, and you're going to need them for half a year. So that's your formula.
Yeah. Maybe we can get some interns or something. But
exactly correct. Now you know it. So now you're slowly building out your people. You just put in some numbers. Bottom line, total it up. Bob's your uncle.
I like the registration piece because it's easy and people understand it, and maybe you put a few other things in there. But this is helpful. Well, Michael, this has been good.
Absolutely. Hope this helps a little bit. We can talk about it later. But once again, I've gone over another episode of Peers Over Beers, but maybe we can put this on Google. You can put it on Google Sheets.
I will.
Thank you very much. I am one of your hosts, Michael Sandoval.
And I'm Chris Detzel.
All right, Chris. Nice talking to you. Talk to you later.
All right.